So today I decided to take the day off, do a little work on Molly. When I first got Molly, I took my ACs apart, or at least the covers apart, and I blew everything out, all the dust and everything. And my front AC, I sensed that it was beginning to go out, and I've been nurturing it for the last couple weeks, and finally my blower motor went out on me, so I got a new motor coming for that. Another thing I did, and I'll post pictures, I didn't like how the condensation just ran over the roof and down my windows. I'm eventually going to replace this roof because it's 27 years old and definitely needs it. And since this is a home, I'm going to start at the top and work my way down. So I installed these little drain tubes to where the condensation runs through the line down the side, and then you can see that little 90 right there spits out the side instead of running down the trim and causing water damage. So front AC is out, and since today is kind of an overcast day, I decided I'm gonna give my back AC unit some TLC since it's the main one I rely on, and took it apart even further, and pretty sure that little nest, mud dauber wasp nest, is not supposed to be there, and it's just pretty dirty. So I'm going to clean it all apart, clean it all up, and re-insulate it, reseal it, and install drain tubes to where water doesn't, see if I can do this without falling off, run down my window and onto my trim, where the trim needs to be replaced and it causes damage. So I have quite the little project going on. There's a gato. Hopefully those clouds stay and it doesn't get 85 degrees out while I'm working on this like it's supposed to. So start taking shit apart, cleaning it. I'm going to pull this motor out also, and I'm going to replace both motors so both of them are brand new. So hopefully I don't have to work on it for another 27 years. Peace out, Girl Scouts. Okay, so right down in there is a little black tray, and that's where the condensation collects, if you can see that. And then there's a little round hole down in the bottom, and underneath there's a hole, and that's where the water drains. So the water literally just drains over the edge of the motorhome and collects on my window and causes water damage. So that is what I'm going to pull out, clean up, and install my drain tubes. Let the fun begin. Alright, that's not a good sign. As you can see, that's where the little plastic catch tray was, and that round hole, is where it's supposed to drain. That rust shows that it hasn't been draining. So here's a little plastic catch tray, and it definitely needs some TLC. So I'm going to get this all cleaned up, re-insulate it, put my tube into that hole to where it drains off to the side of the motorhome, away from my window. Okay, so I got the catch tray all cleaned up, and I just went to Home Depot and I got a 1/4 inch OD clear tubing. I drilled out the hole on the catch tray, used a 1/4 inch drill bit, drilled it out carefully, shoved the clear tube into it, and I used 5200, which if you've never used this stuff, it's awesome, but it's not awesome to work with. Very sticky. Here it is. The stuff is amazing. I've used it on my Toyota, I've used it in plumbing, I've used it on motorhome, I've used it in just about anything that you want to seal up, make waterproof. Like I said, this stuff is awesome. I got it at Home Depot. It's a little expensive, but it's definitely worth it. So yeah, tubes are just jammed in, and I just got them stubbed out right now, and then I'll take a coupling after I get everything put back together. I'll put a 90 on it. I just want this to cure as fast as possible, get it put back together, because it is not going to be overcast and nice and cool like I thought. So I need my AC up and running again. So there it is. Let it cure. While this is curing, I'll jump back up on the motorhome and do some more TLC on her. Stay tuned. Alright, now that I got my stub out, clear tubes in my catch tray, I really want to do something about this rust. So I'm going to take a wire wheel to it, get it all cleaned up, put a little primer on it, and then spray paint it flat black, let that dry. Try to prevent any further rust. This is what I'm using for primer. It's also pretty good stuff. I've used hundreds of cans of these on my rock crawler. Really works. Once again, Home Depot. Alright, so here it is. It takes about 24 hours for it to completely cure, the 5200 that is. It's getting warm out. I put a heat gun to it. It's getting tacky, but since it's getting warm out, I want my AC back, so I need this catch tray back in before I can turn my AC back on. So I'm kind of rushing it a little bit, but it should be just fine. Got it all cleaned up, got some more foam tape put on it, and ready to put her back in. Alright, so there it is back in place. See the catch tray right there, and the little 1/4 inch clear tubing sticking out. 5200. So this is just a stub out. I'll cut this to length and put either a coupling on it or a 90, depending on what direction I run it. But it's starting to get warm out. I want my AC back. So I took the air compressor and blew out as much stuff as I could. As soon as my 2 blower motors show up, I'll take it back apart and replace both of them. But until then, let's get this thing sealed back up, flip that switch, and see if I know what I'm doing or not. Hopefully it drains out that tube. We'll see. So there you go. It's all put back together, sealed up, cleaned up, new insulation, new foam tape. And I got my stub outs. I already turned it on to make sure everything works, and already got condensation coming out. So what I'll do is I'll put a coupling on this and run a longer line and drape it over the edge somewhere. Probably do the same as I did on the front. Take it up to my awning, run it down the frame, and have it dump all the way out there for this side. And this side, what I'll probably do is just run it straight over the edge, down along the window, and I'll put a 90 at the very bottom at the trim so it squirts out away from the motorhome. So there you go. There's a day in life of Lips. It's getting hot. I'm getting back in the AC. But I gotta clean up my mess first. So I wanted it to run for a little while with just the extension on it, so it'd run over the side of the motorhome so I could show you what I was talking about. You can see that's where the condensation runs down to my window, all the way down to my trim, which I'm replacing. That's what I was talking about. I didn't like how it went over my window. My windows are 27 years old and they don't seal the way they used to. I haven't fixed that yet. So in the time being, these extension tubes should do the trick of keeping the water off the motorhome. This is how I did the front one. This is what I was talking about. Just got a little 90 tube runs down the side. And over here on this side, same thing, but I have it going down the arm of my awning, and somewhere right there it 90s and spits out. So that's what I'll do over on this side, running down that arm, and then on the driver's side I'll do the same thing, running down the side of the window down to the trim, and then I'll 90 it out. But before that, I'm gonna go sit inside and enjoy my AC. Alright, here it is. Got all my condensation lines ran for my rear AC unit. Passenger side, I got it running down to the brace of my awning. I have it exiting all the way at the very end and put a 90 on it to where it drips. And on passenger side, or driver side, excuse me, I decided to run it all the way up to the front and have it join up with my front AC unit. I decided I'd rather have just one area of lines coming down instead of one on either window. It just looks a little cleaner. Plus, I think what I'm gonna do is on the driver's side, connect both of them and have them drain into my freshwater tank. I don't drink my fresh water. It's only for washing hands and dishes and stuff. So I know it won't be a lot of water, but instead of letting it drain out onto the ground, going back to Mother Nature, it's gonna go back into my freshwater tank. So yeah, there you go. That is how I ran my condensation lines for my AC units. Hope you kind of enjoy this video. Just remember, life of Lips isn't always fun and spectacular. Sometimes it's dirty and full of work. But this has been on my list for quite some time, so I'm glad to have it done. Hopefully soon my blower motors will be coming and I will get both of those installed. Till then, peace out, Girl Scouts.